Hey everyone, this is Austin Bach, and we're back on Magic Online playing some more Standard. Since in my last video I was pretty much basically done with Standard, I really didn't want to play Team Ramirez over and over, so I decided to mix things up a little bit. And the World Magic Cup happened, and I really like the looks of Jerry Thompson's Sultai Aggro deck, which is what we're working with today. This is very similar to the list that won the Pro Tour some number of months ago, and people just kind of forgot that this deck was a thing, but Winding Constrictor is still a pretty powerful card, so yep, it's just the basic shell of Winding Constrictor, Long Tusk Cub, Walking Ballista. We're not messing around with any of the +1/+1 counter stuff really, like Rishkar or Verdur's Hulk. We're kind of just being a low-to-the-ground beatdown deck. With a mild energy package, we've got like Rogue Refiner, obviously one of the best cards in Standard. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, a premium 2-drop that can run away with games and pretty much whatever matchup you play it in. One copy of Bristling Hydra with another in the sideboard, but this card also works very well with Winding Constrictor, and I think that has not been played enough with Winding Constrictor during their time together in Standard. It's just kind of the same interaction as Long Tusk Cub, just a little bit more expensive, but just a very hard permanent to deal with. The one deviation on my list from Jerry's is that we're playing Greenbelt Rampager, which I think is a card that's being slept on a little bit in Standard right now. This card matches up very well against Mono Red and Control. It's just a very cheap threat that comes onto the board and is difficult to answer with the removal that's being played at the moment, like a Braid. Forces them to spend more energy on Harness Lightning for just a 1-drop. Because I think Standard right now is all about tempo. So rather than go big with like Scarab God and Planeswalker's main deck, I want to go for Greenbelt Rampager because this deck really just wants to get out onto the board and get out underneath people. Because while everyone's messing around with like Vraska and even Nicol Bolas and all that nonsense at the top end, sometimes just a good old 1-mana 3/4 can get the job done. Especially because this deck has so many 2-drops. Sometimes you just want to go like 2-drop into 2-drop plus Rampager, and that's enough to get out ahead of someone, even if you're on the draw. Because I think Standard is so snowbally right now that if you're on the draw and your opponent has a quick start, it's very hard to get a leg up. So that's where I like Rampager stepping in and maybe trying to mitigate that a little bit. So you can just try to outmaneuver people with skill rather than relying on drawing your mana and your expensive cards to try to go over the top of people. I just have not liked that formula very much, so we're trying something different. But I am definitely interested to see how this deck fares in the current metagame.